So some scaffold tube paddings just turned up, ready to protect the space frame when I pick it up. So seems like I've got plenty of it, and my neighbour took the delivery, so one of the more unusual ones she's taken in for me. Powder coating all picked up. So apparently there's one wishbone that's got a little hole blasted in it from sandblasting, so I might have to just weld that one up and plate over it. But otherwise, looking forward to getting it home and starting to put it all together, if today's to-do list isn't too long. Right, so got all my powder coating back home. I've not actually taken a little look at it yet, but from what I can see, the finish is looking pretty good, so I'm very pleased with that. I think the front's pretty similar as well. Got the camera in there. Yeah, so a little bit of texture here and there, but otherwise looking very clean and smooth. And then I've got all the other bits which are also looking really nice. I was most worried about the ladder brace being Swiss cheese, but apparently it was one of the upper wishbones. It's got a little hole in it, but I'll find it, and to be honest, if it's tiny, I'll just put some chemical metal in it. Otherwise I'll weld it up and take it back. But yeah, I'm going to leave them all wrapped up for now, because I am really struggling for space again. Got to find somewhere for all my protective tubes, got to move the little car out the way somewhere, got to finish the fuel tank making a mess, and the drive shaft and prop shaft, which is somewhere under all of that. The brakes can wait a little bit longer, to be honest, but yeah, I've just got to have a proper tidy up. I've just got too many projects on at once at the moment. I'm in the middle of, I've just built some decking, waiting for a little summer house to turn up for my boy to have a playhouse. I've now got to go and get all the garden furniture and find somewhere for it to dry out, because all the cushions stayed out in the rain the other day. And then my wife's taken my car today because her car's been making a funny noise, and she can't take our other MX5 because she can't get it over the speed bumps. So I'm rather stuck with, I've got to sort the other car first, see what's wrong with that, why it's making a noise, and it also needs its service, which has been beeping at her for a few weeks, so I've got to do that too. And then I've got to tidy up, and then finally hopefully I can get to finishing the painting and then putting everything back together. So there's a lot on at the moment. Oh, and I've also got to do the treasurer duties for the end of year financials for our club that we run, which is overdue by a few weeks. So yeah, it's just a lot on at the moment, but we'll get there somehow. Step one, make another coffee. Oh, and the fish tanks need a water change too, to add to the list. It's no wonder I only get a couple hours a week to work on this, and it's taking quite a while. And turns out the lawn needs a mow too. It's going to be a busy weekend. And I've got to cut back the grapes, which are starting to grow next door. Yay. Coffee. So I think I found the rattle, some loose fuel lines where the clips have broken. A few cable ties later, all good. Right, so a little organising later. The cushions are sort of drying. Powder coating's been moved in. Still not having a chance to do any painting. Car's all covered up, but the car will go in the garage as soon as the engine comes out. So I'm going to have to build the front subframe first, but get the car in the garage, with the end while the engine comes out and goes on it, and then I can do the back end, and then I can join them together with the PPF, stick some wheels on it, and away we go. Yeah, and hopefully they dry out eventually, and I think they all need a bit of a wash now. Whoops. One of the rear wishbones, I found where they've blown through, two little holes here, so I don't think I can just chemical metal that, it'd be too weak, so I'm going to have to just grind it back, weld it up and take it back for another coat. I think got to be safe and sensible with these things. So I've got all my powder coated wishbones unwrapped, ready to go. Still got anti-roll bars and braces and the main subframes to unwrap, but I will try and restrain myself from doing that until I've finished making a mess and tidying things up. But yeah, one more coat of paint on the fuel tank and I'm going to call that done, and then I can strap the bottom bit on. Then, ow, hit my head. Then I just got a little the spacer for the diff, just Q rusting at the moment, just got to paint that. Not sure if I need these for fitting the fuel tank, I don't think so, but I'm tidying them up anyway, and I've dug out some nice interior ones which are still brightly zinced that can hold it all in place, and then I can put the heat shield back on, which should look nice and smart, providing that actually fits in the Exocet. I'm yet to work that out, because after going to the show, a couple of people said they'd mounted the fuel tank back to front and they all had this facing forward rather than back, to apparently make more space, but I'm not 100% sure until I get it how all that's going to work. So for now I'm just going to leave it with all of the lines still connected, so that when I put the skate back together, in theory I can run a metal bar across to represent an earth, and then start the car up, check everything works after everything being apart all this time, and hopefully I can do all that before I have the skate turn up. But yeah, my pile of shiny parts is getting bigger, but yeah, I've just got that one to repair, one of the rear ones up there, and when I've welded that up and had it recoated, then that's all good, which is a shame because the finish on that one actually came out a lot smoother than the finish on the worst one. But oh well, they're all pretty equal and even, and I'm happy with my shade of shiny black that I've gone for, and I think it ties in well with my paint on the PPF and everything. But the little diff mount plates all seem nice and tidy, they're all ready to go, they sit beautifully under there. I have noticed that when they've done the powder coating, they powder coated inside the barrels, which I had asked them not to do, but it does look like they've kept it quite thin in there, so hopefully that's all right. With the areas that are inside, the smaller wishbones are painted really well, and the plates which I welded on look really good actually, so very pleased with those. But inside some of these ones, it is still a little bit brown inside, despite all they've done, just because it's so hard to access. So I think I'm going to cavity wax inside those as neatly and tidily as I can. But it's starting to all look pretty promising. So yeah, one more coat on the fuel tank, brakes, steering column, prop shaft, drive shaft, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. Just got to put it together then. Should we do it?
Yeah.
Okay, ready to do more? Now mind your hands out of the way. That's it, do more. So that's the fuel tank all back together with the heat shield on the bottom, even if that's not going to be in the right place or whatever now, but put it on so it all stays together. and all the lines are still there, so I can do a test run of the engine before the kit arrives, hopefully.
Nice and shiny. There. Wow, looking a lot better than I expected. So that was like the worst looking piece. Well, should we put it down? Good boy. Should we do another one? Should we do these ones? Can we open this one? Should we open it? Where does it start? Start here. There. Go round and round. Look, it's shiny.
Well, I've just unwrapped the subframes. They're looking really good. Might have to tap a couple of the threads because although they masked some of them up, they missed a couple of little bits. But otherwise, looking really, really good. I've got all my other bits done. Managed to get a couple of bushes in. Although since I have, they've sort of popped back out a little bit again. So I'll probably just have to squeeze them tight again. Maybe it's just the air coming out. But I unwrapped the anti-roll bars as well, and they have come out like factory. They both look really, really good, even though they were quite pitted. And there's a little bit of pitting on the inside of this one, but really they've done a very thorough job on all of these, so I'm really very pleased. Yeah, front subframe's looking good. A little bit of texture to it, but you're going to see so little of it that you're never going to really notice. But yeah, I'm looking forward to putting it all back together, and I'm pleased that all of this stuff isn't just Swiss cheese as well, because I had more concerns over the subframes, to be honest, than the wishbones. Yeah, even my appalling bit of welding in there seems to have covered up quite nicely, and seems to be holding up well. Yeah, won't be too long till I nestle the diff back in here. But I need to give the diff a good clean out first, because it's been open to the elements for quite some time and I haven't split it, so I'm going to just drench a lot of brake cleaner through it and rotate it as I do it. All ready to put it all back in here, so it should look good. But one thing I am wondering about that someone might have an answer to is, how do I do a PPF alignment between the gearbox and the diff without the car? Because you're supposed to line it up on the chassis rails, which are obviously no longer existent. I did try and scratch some witness lines into the gearbox and diff, but if I can't find them, then I might have to trial and error it a little bit and see what happens. But right now I am surrounded by loads of shiny clean parts, with only a couple of minor exceptions being brakes, a shaft, a prop shaft and a steering column. And I am looking forward to starting to put all of this back together over the next few clips.
Open it. Open. I'm going to try and get that out. Yeah, it's going to go in there. Yeah. Uh-oh. Look at it. Yeah, Sam, look, it's going to go in here like this. You were right. Look. Sam, do you want to put it in like that? It goes in. You want to do it? Yeah, put it in and push. Push. Did it. Well done. Well done, Sam.
So Sam helped me fit a little bleed nipple here, because I just felt it's one of the highest points in the cooling circuit, and I just wanted the peace of mind that I could bleed it if need be, rather than just going for my little joiner which I'd made out of an old heater pipe. But yeah, I think that's a more sensible solution to it, which is good. Thank you, Car Builder Solutions. You put them all in the bag? Good boy. Now we're going to write on the bag. Look, you gonna hold it? Look, so Daddy's got to write rear subframe on it. Look, can Daddy have it flat? Thank you. Look, rear subframe. Thank you. Can you put them in the bag, please? In the bag? In this bag, yeah. Thank you. Just dropped off all my bolts for a bit of zinc coating. See him in a week. Right, well, it's a real shame to have to do this to fresh powder coat, but at the same time, I do need to have suspension arms that aren't going to fall apart on me. So, at the risk of making a big mess of this nice clean stuff, cover it up as best I can. I'm going to try and just clean up the areas that have gone through so I can maybe get some weld on them. Slightly smaller one. Just help get in the gaps a bit better. At least it's all lovely bright metal underneath. That one's good. Right, so hopefully it's all set up to go again. I've not changed the settings since the last I welded bits to the wishbones, so hoping it's all set up good. It's all right to me. Hopefully it's going to just arc up nicely on this, not melt hole straight through. Yep, okay, that's positive. I'm getting some anti-spatter spray first. And a glove, too. Right, so I'm fairly happy with that. It's a very slightly different shape, but I just can't get the grinding disc in there without making more areas thinner than they need to be. So I'm going to just have to have a slightly chunkier bit there, but chunkier means there's more metal there than it started with. And how does it feel on the inside? Well, there's no nastiness on the inside, so that's all good. So I think I'm going to take this back up to the powder coaters now and let the powder cover my sins. Right. Quick coat of Q-Rust over the steering rack, and quick coat over each of the shafts before they get painted. I dropped the other rear wishbone back to the powder coaters, so that'll be ready for next week. So will all of my nice shiny bolts, although I realise there's even more little bolts that I'd quite like to get done as well. So maybe when I finally get around to doing the brakes, I'll take them off and pop them back to get zinc coated as well. But yeah, literally one errand, painted 3 things, welded a tiny little bit, and I've run out of time again. So till next week. All shiny. Right, so I've just run a load of brake cleaner, about 2 and a bit cans worth, through the diff. A lot of dirt came out the bottom, so I'm glad I did it, and it was almost running perfectly clean by the time I finished. I did tip it a bit more just to get the dregs out, but yeah, I think that is a lot better than it was now. So I've just got to reseal at the bottom. Typically I don't have copper rings the right size, so I'm just going to stick a bit of RTV on them and seal it back up at the bottom, ready to fill it up when I put it back together. So yeah, very positive. Well, matching rear ends on the cars now in colours. So yeah, starting to look pretty good now. I just got impatient and I've just mocked it up with some old hardware until the freshly zinced stuff comes back. But I just wanted to see it. I'm impatient. So yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I'm happy with the colour match. And this should be the cheeky little glimpse you get behind the exhaust when that's all back together and I've decided what to do with that.